Master, there are some questions from the team. Would Master like to answer them?
Okay, I'm here already.
Okay, Master.
Tell me.
The first question is, Master, this year, besides the variant Lambda, another variant called B.1.621 also appeared in Colombia, and both variants seem to evade COVID-19 vaccines. For example, there were 7 victims in Belgium earlier this year. There's also a new virus that emerged in West Africa, the Marburg virus.
Yes.
And Ebola appeared in Côte d'Ivoire after it was eradicated for more than 20 years.
I know. I heard all that. Yes. What else?
Not to mention the avian flu outbreaks that we've seen in various countries this year, like Côte d'Ivoire, China, France, Ghana, India, etc. Master, how to explain this increase in deadly viruses? Will we see a day where the planet will be free of all of them?
Yeah, let's pray and hope so. We do our best in praying and informing people. This is a time of screening, almost like the final hour, 11th hour of humanity. The scientists keep telling us, and I've been sounding the alarm over these years and recently, but if humans do not change, then probably many will lose their lives. And not just that, but then the economy will collapse. Many things will happen before we can see the change. And at that time, I don't know if we can start it all over again from ABC to rebuild the world. Just because right now, in many places, people like in the government where they're working or where their house is, many of them are safe, so they did not think that tragedy might happen to them or in their area, like natural disasters and all that. But it might come anywhere, anytime.
Yes.
More and more frequently now. It's a warning sign all over the planet, but I don't know, humans are just so hard to change, so hard to understand, hard to talk to, even though it's all logic and reason to you and me.
Right.
It's a final battle between good and bad. And the negative tendency of humans is hard to eradicate, and they continue to live as business as usual.
The number of weather-related disasters has increased 5-fold in the past 50 years. That's according to the World Meteorological Organization. On average, an event linked to weather, climate or water hazard has killed 115 people every day since 1970.
There are 11,000 such disasters over the last 50 years. 2 million people have lost their lives. The economic damage is growing hugely, 7 times more than it was in the 1970s. 3 of the biggest storms, they all occurred in 2017, just a few years ago, including Hurricane Harvey, Irma and Maria.
We are going to see more climatic extremes because of climate change, and this negative trend in climate will continue for the coming decades.
We hear some people saying, well, this is a once in a 100-year event. It is absolutely not. It is part of a pattern of emerging viruses. And there will be more in the future. There are going to be further pandemics. We don't know when. We don't know what it will be.
With so much sickness and pandemics, and even old pandemics or old deadly diseases and infections returned, and so many disasters everywhere. I think heaven wants to get rid of all the humans. Or as many humans as possible. I think heaven doesn't want humans to live on this planet anymore. It seems like to me. It seems like it's the prediction for the end times. I do what I can, of course. As humans, it has to change. I keep telling that nobody listens.
Right.
Just like when you ask me, do I have any advice for the government? I told you what I want to say also, that do they even listen? Is anybody listening even?
Yes, Master.
Yeah, but since you asked, I tell you. I've been wasting my time. Oh, maybe it works some,
It's working.
Even though some already changed into a more benevolent lifestyle, like choosing vegan, to reduce karma and reduce destruction for the planet. But not enough. Everyone has to change.
Yes.
And then the table will turn immediately. Things to get better immediately, almost, few weeks.
Wow.
But nobody listens, tell you. Any more questions?
Master, you once revealed that to be a president of the United States, you need to have 530,000 zillion spiritual merit points. So, as President Joe Biden wasn't meant to be the president this time, does this mean that he might not have enough merits to stay in that office?
No, he doesn't. That's why Harley call him president.
I see.
Yeah. He's not supposed to be in that post. But by some means, as the negative karma of humans and Americans are too strong, it overrides it. That's why he cannot make any good decisions.
Right.
Former Bush and Obama administration Defense Secretary Robert Gates wrote in 2014 that Biden, quote, has been wrong on nearly every major foreign policy and national security issue over the past 4 decades.
Everything is opposite to what is good for the Americans.
Yes.
Yeah. Even though President Trump does not look like what people expect him to be, but he is absolutely good for the Americans.
Yes.
Just the way he promised.
Yes.
Americans first. That's what it is. He's supposed to look after the Americans at this time so that people can enjoy the benefit of their tax paying.
Yes, Master.
Not just burning overseas with ammunition and bombs.
Yes.
Harming the American beautiful, young, handsome people and harming the natives as well, wherever they are involved in conflict. It's not just Biden, It's just for America that we're talking about, but quite a few leaders don't have enough merit to be there. That's why our world is a mess. Okay?
Oh, I understand.
Yes. When each leader minds their own business and helps out other countries, whatever they can, depends on their situation and merit, then the world will have peace.
Right.
But many leaders, they don't think of truly the good for the people. They just think for themselves, trying so hard to compete with the opponent and to consolidate their position and power. Thus, they have hardly time for their subjects, for their citizens. Understand what I'm saying?
Master.
That's why our world is in a mess.
Yes.
What to do? There is another solid reason why Biden behaves the way he does, and why Harris and Pelosi behave the way they do.
Oh. What is that reason, Master?
I don't know if I should tell you. Because the zealous demons are possessing them. That's why sometimes he stumbles for words. And he can't even make out what the real sense is.
I see.
Yeah, Biden, he's controlled by the zealous demons.
Right.
The people who open the third eye can see that.
Understand.
Yeah, most of the time he is possessed by zealous demons. And as I told you, zealous demons, they love to have dead cups to eat. So you see, the previous policy, he let all the Mexicans or other Central American immigrants coming, without any reason, truly.
Yes.
I mean, without America, Mexicans and other Central Americans, they're still living okay.
Yes.
It's just that he's tempting them with a life of luxury and all that. But as I told you guys before, these people, if there's no desperate situation, like war and famine and all that, they should just stay where they are.
Right.
With their dignity. Money and richness are not everything.
Yes.
You don't need to go somewhere else and let people look down upon you like beggars. diminishing your self-worth, self-esteem, and self-dignity.
Yes, Master.
But Biden, he did the opposite. He just told people, let them come in and let them go everywhere, carrying a lot of risks for the good citizens of America when they are already struggling with all kinds of violence, protests, and looting, and the pandemic.
Yes.
And it gets worse. That's not fair.
No.
He did the opposite.
Yeah.
The reason is that some more people will die.
Oh.
And the leftover zealous demons who are still hiding in humans' bodies that can feast on the dead cup.
Oh.
You know,
Terrible.
because these people, they die in agony. That is exactly the energy that they need in the dead flesh that they consume. Understand me?
Yes, Master, understand.
Okay, that's why. And Afghanistan also, he dilly-dally until many people died like that. More than 100 people died, including Americans and Taliban. So all these dead people are food for the zealous demons.
Yes, Master.
And for that reason, he has an excuse to revenge. And more dead people for the zealous demons.
My brother came from his work, want to park the car in here, and their children. It was in the car.
And how many people from your family
10
died?
persons died in here. We lost 10 persons, including of my daughter. He was at 2 years old.
An attacker inspired by Islamic State has been shot dead by New Zealand police after going on a stabbing rampage at an Auckland supermarket. At least 6 people have been wounded, 3 critically.
Do you understand why he behaves the way he does?
Yes, Master.
Or he decided the way he did?
Yes.
You can see that clearly or not?
Yes, Master.
This is what I know.
Yeah.
This is what heaven told me. I confirmed with heaven. Now you know he is possessed. They use him.
That explains.
So sometimes he cannot control his speech or his body. That's why he fought and he stumbled with his talk and all that stuff and decided the things that are against all logic and reason, against all fashion that other people would do if they proclaim that they love their country and their co-citizens.
Yes, Master.
Completely opposite.
Right.
So that more people would die.
Oh.
And then they kill them and they return to kill them and I kill you, you kill me. He just destroys peace.
Yeah, true.
I mean, not destroy, but damaging and kind of restarting the devil's circle, the vicious circle of vengeance.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've got to tell you, the president's not ending the war. He's just changing the character of it.
A terror attack in a New Zealand supermarket by a known ISIS supporter.
It's going to get much worse. And what we have to remember is the Haqqani network, who used to run the Kabul attack network, is now in charge of security in Kabul. You compound that with the 5,000 that we made the Afghans release from prison, and then you compound that further with all the prisons being empty now of ISIS, Khorasan, and Al-Qaeda, and the Taliban. And so what we now have is a new epicenter of jihadist terrorism that is going to be a grave threat to the world.
Oh.
Terrible.
It's really not good.
To be strong is not like waiting till the enemy attacks you and then you bomb them back.
No.
That's not showing your strength.
No.
Strength, wisdom, is to avoid that from happening.
Right.
So that peace can be more established and nourished.
Yes.
Yeah, so citizens of both sides or every side can have their freedom, their peace to enjoy and to build their lives for themselves, their countries, their children, and for the next generation. They should have peace to think, to relax in order to reorganize their life.
Yeah.
Or build their lives, okay, in peace.
Yes.